Good afternoon. My name is Regina Bolden Whitaker, and currently I serve as the president of the United States Capitol Black Police Association. While my stories are numerous, the few that I'm about to share with you began some 35 plus years ago. At that time, I was excited about being accepted as a recruit candidate for the position of police officer with the United States Capitol Police. Upon completing my entry-level training, I was assigned to the 3rd Relief of the Senate Division. The excitement and passion of going to work and the thrill of working in the halls of Congress was an awesome experience. However, within a 1-year period, my passion for my job had begun to dissipate. This feeling lingered throughout much of my 25-year career path. It started with an unpleasant encounter. This encounter involved moving the vehicle after making several attempts to get the attention of the parking attendant who saw me but ignored me simply because of the color of my skin. Once I moved the vehicle and exited the vehicle that was blocking a perfectly legitimate parking space, I was confronted by the ignoring supervisor of the parking lot, and he stated that I had no right to move the vehicle. I advised him that I was a U.S. Capitol Police officer and showed him my police credentials. He called for a patrol division officer, and once the officer arrived, he told him to arrest me. The patrol division officer, recognizing whom I was, radioed for Senate Division Sergeant. The Senate Division Sergeant responded, and upon hearing what had occurred, he supported the supervisor of the parking lot by stating to him to do whatever he wanted to do to me. The supervisor decided that he would scrape my parking permit from my vehicle, and I was barred from parking on the lot. The treatment that I received left me feeling like, am I not a part of the thin line of blue? Yeah, I felt that I was certainly treated differently. Moreover, as police officers, our job entailed moving vehicles on the Senate parking lot. Another incident happened while I was assigned to the Iran-Contra Committee. An intern approached me one evening, seeking to gain access to her work area. In order to gain access to the work area, one's name needed to be on the access list. Her name, however, did not appear on the access list, so she was denied entry. She was then observed to have a package in her hand, and she inquired if she could leave it at the police desk. I granted her permission, and she placed her package underneath the police desk. By the end of my tour, I was properly relieved by a white officer, and the package remained under the police desk. Sometime later, the package became lost property. This sparked an internal affairs investigation. Being a person of integrity, I decided to retain an attorney. An internal affairs hearing was held on my behalf, and I was exonerated. However, the white officer who relieved me resigned from the department, and he did not appear for an administrative hearing. I inquired about getting my attorney fees back, and I was told that an internal affairs hearing is not a court of law. Again, I was treated differently because of the color of my skin. The most horrific event involved the wearing of my protective body armor. On May 15th, 2001, I was approached by a white sergeant who asked if I was wearing my body armor. I replied that I was not. Also, he asked if I was going to put it on. I replied no, and our conversation ended. The very next morning, I was approached by another white sergeant, and he too asked if I was wearing my body armor. Again, I replied that I was not. He replied, "Why not?" And I responded, "Because I had a medical condition." Then he replied that he could not permit me to work without the wearing of my body armor. I asked him if I could be seen by the department's selected physician. He made an inquiry, and I was sent to the Human Resources Office. Upon arrival, I was seen by a Black female, and she informed me that I was being placed in an involuntary restricted duty status. I advised her of my request to see the department's selected physician. I was then sent to see another Black female, and she told me that there is no department selected physician. Also, she added that the only doctor that the department has is the Capitol physician. I asked if I could go to see him, and my request was denied. Then I was given two options. Option one was to return to my detail in a restricted duty status, and option two was simply to go home and use my own sick leave. My choice was to return back to my detail. Once I arrived, I met with my shop steward and two different white officials. In that setting, I asked the two white officials if they were wearing their protective body armor. They both replied no. Then I asked if they planned on wearing it while working in the field, and again, they both said no. Our conversation ended, and I was replaced and put in a restricted assignment in the uniform of the day. On June 2001, I received a memo from another white official, and it indicated that I needed to provide the department with the medical certificate. The department received a medical certificate from my physician on June 26, 2001. Subsequently, medical certificates were provided, and they were all deemed unacceptable. I was harassed constantly about providing the department with an acceptable medical certificate. In an attempt to receive a medical certificate, the department had someone to contact my doctor's office. Somehow, in some way, they were very persuasive in getting my doctor to provide a detailed diagnosis of my medical condition. I was furious and shocked by my doctor's action. I advised my doctor that her action violated doctor-patient confidentiality. Later, a Black female working in the Human Resources Office contacted me and stated that she was in possession of an acceptable medical certificate. She then advised that she had sent a copy to my detail office for their file and that she would provide me with a copy. Her action violated the HIPAA law and the departmental regulation of holding medical information at the detail level. It was done as an act of retaliation because I was and I am still a plaintiff in the District Court of the District of Columbia. The complaint was filed in October of 2001 by some 250 plus Black officers and civilians. Our complaints addressed unlawful acts of discrimination based on race, color, and sex in the areas of hiring, promotions, training opportunities, assignments, and unfair discipline. While our judgments were intended to be filed as a class action case in the court, we were stripped naked of commonality, numerosity, and typicality. As of this date, the court has rendered a decision that there are only 22 plaintiffs that have viable claims. Racism is a disease that is systemic across the breadth and width of this country. It is totally unacceptable. That said, our relief is to urge members of Congress, members of the U.S. Capitol Police Board, and the U.S. District Court Judge to settle this long and overdue court litigation. Most importantly, as all of you consider our relief, puffed upness must be absent in your bodies, because the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, and a wise man is he who listens to counsel. Thank you for listening to me. God bless. Bye-bye.